Welcome to Now in Zen, the podcast about microtonal and Zen harmonic music, both national and international, foreign and domestic, past, present, and future. For JI purists, computer geeks, alternative guitarists, and academic aficionados of all ages, from age 8 to 81/64, I'm Stephen Weigel, and today's guest is Gustavo Silveira, also known as the Músico Nerd.
You're not doing school, right? Because you said you didn't want to get a doctorate, or...
No, I finished my master's at Georgia Southern, and then I went to Ball State, but I was working there, was not studying. Yes, Miss Ball State. But then I didn't get into a PhD or anything, so just work independently, and that's it. And I hope to stay like that for a while.
Yeah. Does your independent work have to do with the Músico Nerd channel, which is a really cool channel? It's one of my favorites.
Yes. Actually was an experiment when I left Ball State, if I could work just with that, just with, not just with the Musical Nerd, but just working online with my own business. And it has been working. So I'm doing that full time now. So,
wow.
Yeah. So I'm really happy. And the pandemic, since I'm just staying at home, I could just focus on that 100%. So it has been working out for me, and it's fun. It's fun.
As somebody who would love to work full time on what I do, I definitely appreciate any insight or tips that you'd be willing to share about how that starts and how you can make it grow and how you can get people interested in what you're doing.
So the way it started didn't start as a with the intention of making money and living with that, because I have been doing that for about 4 years now that I have the channel, and it was always something in the side. But you have to find a way to capitalize what you do. You have to find ways of how can you sell your knowledge in a way that you can still make money, but you can still help people to do whatever you want them to do. So, for example, I have the YouTube channel, which is free for everybody, like in YouTube. But I created courses, actually the same course, one course in Portuguese and one course in English, that it's a more complete course, like step-by-step, organized curriculum, and with support and community, So once you have a niche and you know what people want to learn, you can give this project to them, and it's sustainable. So, but it's a lot of work besides the what we see in the channel, which is the videos. So you have to study marketing, you have to be your designer, or you have to hire people. Now I'm starting to work with people that do ads and things like that, So you have to spend about as much time in the content actually building the business and learning the other parts of the business, which is the same for every business, right? So
yeah.
If you want to do like a course on how to write microtonal music, or all the things that like a lot, you could teach a lot of things. And I think there's a lot of people wanting to learn too, but also you'd have to learn all the other things, that how to do an offer,
Right.
How to do a sales video, how can you convince people that actually they need your product, and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of things that you need to learn besides but it's pretty cool. You can use those things like in every aspect of your life, I think.
Absolutely. And there's definitely an art to it, where some people just really have a gift with selling themselves. I think you're definitely one of those people. And I don't think I have that gift. So it's definitely something I need to work at to learn how I can do that. I've also, it's also hard for me to try and put myself into somebody else's shoes who needs to be convinced that microtonality is a great thing to learn, because I have always thought that it's a great thing to learn, and I can't imagine what it's like to be a person who doesn't think that's great. So I need to like figure out what the ideal sales pitch is for somebody who isn't yet convinced that it's great to learn that stuff. And it's so hard to acquire the resources online to really learn the basics. It's not all summarized in a neat course. So I think that's a really, really open market in the sense that nobody has ever put together like something comprehensive and official, like anything that goes on like Brilliant or Skillshare or any of the other Khan Academy or any of the other places that people go for education. There's not like this slot for like regular temperament theory and microtonality where there should be. So yeah, I want to make that happen. So
Yeah, I think you should totally do it because I was not at all a salesperson, not at all. I think I'm like right now. I think I'm okay because I've learned some things, but naturally I hate to sell. I always thought that like nobody would want to buy a course on how to build MIDI controllers, you know. But there's some good people online teaching, and when you see their vision, and it really changes things. There's a technique for everything, right? And there's someone teaching this technique for everything, and there's everything for free on YouTube or books online or paid. So once you start like following some guys or girls that teach this kind of thing, it kind of opens your mind to, oh, that's, I don't need to be a salesperson, you know. There's a different technique that's more like to do with what I do or who I am, you know. It's a process. You don't need to be the best in sales, and I don't know, for me, I don't want to get rich or anything. I just want to make enough money that I can do just that. That's enough for me, you know. So
me too.
Yeah, I guess we all musicians, we just want to do what we want to do and not hustle, right?
Yeah.
I think anybody that like wants to put the efforts to learn a little bit about this other thing, other side, can do it like no problem. It's just slow, you know. Like I have been doing that for years, and now it's a time like, oh, okay, I have enough money so I can live.
It's starting to pay off after 4 years.
Yeah. Now, okay, now how can I grow? You know, it's slow, but it works.
Yeah. Building content is definitely really difficult. I actually really want to make a video about this on my channel because I feel like I'm sort of turning a corner with content creation where I don't believe that most people who like watch my videos will really share them, even if I do something as mind-blowing as I can possibly think of. So there has to be like some extra steps that I'm not following to get as popular as, say, like your channel.
If you want to grow your channel, you need to do some things that are not like, oh, I want to write about that. Then you write about, oh, I want to write about that. Part of your channel, it's like, oh, I want to write about that. But part of your channel is, how can I write something that people are looking for?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
So there are like, for example, websites that you can just put like keywords, or like if you put like microtonal music, microtonality, or whatever, and then you can see what are the related words to that keyword that people are actually looking for.
Oh, you know? Yes.
And
that's a good idea.
Then you go there and you make a video about that. Then you try to make videos about as many keywords related to that one that are the most searched on YouTube or Google, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's
then
mind-blowing.
People start to find you on YouTube, and then YouTube starts to recommend you to people that are looking for those keywords, you know? Then you start to rank more on YouTube.
Right. Yeah, this is the kind of taking advantage of the algorithm that I haven't done. Like, I haven't done any deep research into. I have looked at some like videos here and there about like how to do that, but I don't have any like formalized process. I did see a great video about how to get YouTube to recommend your video to other people, like basically using a video that's already popular and modeling like its thumbnail and keywords and things like that, which I'm trying to do a little bit now. And I think another good sign is like random people on the internet contacting you to ask you curious questions, which I wasn't getting until I started this podcast. As I go throughout life more and more, I'm very, very convinced that the last thing that people want to hear from me is my original music. They just want to hear other stuff, which is fine. But like, it's always just like a fight to actually write music anymore, because now there's all these other things that I could do that nobody else is doing. Like with microtonality, there's just so much to be done, because you're always building from the ground up and explaining things that people haven't really heard in a formal explanation. Since most of the people who know about microtonality are like solo renegades who are intentionally being as off the grid as they can, or maybe they're looking for a new sound in there.
Yeah, man, this thing about the music, like I am a composer first. I graduated in music composition before studying music technology.
Mm-hmm.
But I decided that my channel is what's going to sponsor my music,
Yes.
But my channel has nothing to do with my music.
Right.
And I'm not concerned anymore. Okay, if people will listen or not, but it's really hard to make it in the music industry, mostly doing something that's not pop music. Anything is hard. But if we can at least sponsor, like make money still making something about music, and then we can release our music in another channel or underneath our main channel, it works. But it's hard to just make content about your music, like at least in the beginning,
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard to know like when you should do that and when you shouldn't, as well as when you should make content free. I feel like that's really difficult for me, knowing what I should charge people for and not charge people for. Because right now I don't do anything through YouTube monetization wise, because there's a lot of financial things I just don't want to deal with, because I don't find the numbers to be easy, and like getting caught up in organizing it seems to like take more time and be less convenient than actually just like doing something automatic. So that's why I have a Patreon account for Now and Zen, and recently we crossed the 30 patron mark, and I was really excited about it. And I have real trouble predicting like what's going to happen with Patreon, because we had seen steady growth for a while since we started it before. And then like in the pandemic, there was a big dry spell. And then like just last month, we got like 5 people. It seems like people only respond to the Now and Zen episodes as content. Like after I post about Now and Zen, people donate to the Patreon. But it also seems like what people are the most excited about is my other projects that I do with like the multi-instrumental covers. So there might just be too many competing forces. How do you decide as a content creator what kinds of materials you're going to make free and what kinds of materials you're going to like sort of put behind a paywall? How does that process work for you?
So that's something that I think that now I found what my channel is, at least for now, but so that is a mix of what people are searching and what type of content I am creating that are getting the best response.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see by the comments and the likes and dislikes, some videos I have some more dislikes than I would like to have, and some videos that I have are basically like 100% likes.
Yeah.
So and the way I balance paid content and free. So I have the course, which is the Making Music with Arduino, which is a paid course,
mm-hmm.
which is a whole programming and electronics course. You really learn how to program, you learn how to do designs, 3D design, 2D. It's a really complete, it's about 60 classes. So that's paid. But I still want to release open source projects, So what I have been doing, in the beginning of the year, I was releasing more videos. But what I found that what works is I create a new project, a new MIDI controller project. and I make a video of the whole build. Like I try to make really good video, like good editing, like which is where you can learn, but it's also entertaining. You know.
Yes.
So I do a video of me building something, and I release the files for the code, for the enclosure, everything you need, the schematics, everything you need to build it. But at the end of the video, I offer, like, if you like this and if you want to learn actually how to program, if you want to have access to more projects, I have a complete course. The link is below.
Yeah.
So that's basically what happens, because one thing feeds the other, you know? The more free content I post, the bigger my audience grows, and the more people are looking me, saying and offering my complete course, you know?
Right. So would you say that if you're trying to get people interested in the paid content, you offer free content as kind of a teaser of what can happen in the paid content? Is that kind of the strategy?
Sort of, yeah. It's not like a teaser only. It's like people really can do stuff only watching my free videos.
Right. I see.
You
So
know?
it can function that way, but it's not constructed in a way that the person frames it like that.
Yes. So it's really like you watch one video and then you build one controller. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna watch another video. And yeah, that's nice, but I would like, what if I can do this, and this? But there's no video about how to build this specific controller that I want to build. So maybe I should do the course.
Yeah, because then you'll learn more about all those different kinds. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it works.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing all your wisdom about content. I think this is
Man. I'm just learning, you know. But now that's the point that I found that okay, that works. Now I just need to do more. You know, scale.
Right. So you're really working hard to not only do the research that you need to understand the strategies that people are using nowadays, but you're also evaluating yourself to see what works and then building on that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This type of thing is growing so much now because everybody's stuck at home, right? And
Yeah.
people want to share what they do, and people want to monetize what they do online. And there's all sorts of things that people are doing. And for example, now I am one thing that I'm doing I think that's it's nice. I'm doing just like you do. I'm doing weekly lives with a guest.
Nice.
You know, so every time that and I'm trying to call guests that are big people. You know, not everybody are like famous, but like some people. I try to bring people that are bigger than my channel.
Yeah.
So this way, I have an amazing conversation. For example, last week I got Yautex, which is a company from Argentina that they build custom-made MIDI controllers.
Oh wow, nice work.
Yeah, and the other day I brought a DJ that's like has a big DJ school. So it's really nice that you get people from other places and you help each other.
Yes.
And the last guy that I talked to, the DJ, we were talking about market for DJs, but it was actually for everybody. And he was talking about how people are making money on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, something for I never used Twitch. I'm not a gamer. Maybe it's because of that. But how people are doing lives there, and how better than any other platform it is for you to monetize your live streams. There's like so many ways of interaction and different ways for you to people make donations or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that I think it's happening right now for artists that want to make money doing performances or live streams or whatever through Twitch.
Can I ask you about the XT Synth and your inspiration for that and how it plays microtonally?
Yes, and I'm going to talk briefly about that. And there's another thing I want to talk to you that might be nice for your audience.
Yes.
So the XT Synth is it's like a ribbon controller, but in the form factor of a small guitar. It's the size of a banjo, but the size doesn't really matter. It's just because the sensors I had are that size. So you play similar, like the left hand, like you'd play a string instrument, but instead of strings, you have soft potentiometers or sensors that tracks the position of your finger. And in the right hand, I have some normal, I have like potentiometers, some encoders, things that I can change the parameters of the sound. But the nice part, or the way what makes it interesting is I wouldn't say like maybe microtonal capabilities, but it's because it works like a fretless instrument, a MIDI fretless instrument, you know?
So how fretless is that?
So it's the way it works, it's both fretless and fretted. So what it does, it's like a violin with autotune.
I see.
You know, first time you touch the sensor, it actually quantizes to the next pitch in the 12-tone chromatic scale.
Right.
So if you're near A sharp, it's going to quantize to A sharp, so it's going to be in tune. But then it releases the frets, and then you can do vibratos and glissandos just like you do in a fretless instrument. It's easier to play in tune, but you can also do all the fretless stuff that you could do in a fretless instrument.
Okay. Does that mean that the onset of each note then is always going to be from 12th tone equal temperament before you slide it around?
Yes.
Gotcha. Cool.
But the way I configured is 12 frets, but you could program in any configuration you'd like. You could do 11 EDO, 10, 33, whatever. You know, the resolution is, oh my God, I forgot. But I don't know, but it's a really big resolution. You know, you can divide the octave in 1,000 if you want.
Yes, awesome. Well, that would be enough for some people.
Right? Just need some really tiny fingers.
Yeah, you just need it. That'd be fun. Love hearing an explanation of that instrument. I remember the first time I saw it, I was just blown away because here was something that was like a human-computer interface project, right? Where you plug it into a computer and the computer gives you all that sound. But it was so like organic and beautiful and free. It felt just like an acoustic instrument. It didn't feel like it was stilted or expressionless at all.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. That when I played, because I play the keyboard a little bit, but my main instrument is the guitar. And I feel when I play that feels like organic. The same way you said, like the vibratos, like you can play with any synth you like, but you get that feel of the instrument. I was seeing someone posting about one microtonal keyboard or something like that. And I would love to create a MIDI controller for that you guys would want to have, you know, that so we could like get into a conversation or like in the forum, the Facebook group, and like figure out a design. And I would love to build one. Like the only thing I would ask, like, if you guys could like pay for the material, you know, we do like a small crowdfunding. Or like I would see how much it would cost. Then I would build. Like my only interest is actually making the video, and then like release how you guys could do, you know, how you guys could build. So I would release like code and like schematics, the files for enclosure, everything. I would love to do that.
Oh, yeah. That'd be the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, we could do something something that's doable in the DIY world, right? Something that like, okay, we could do that. You could do that at home and would still be nice, you know?
Yeah. There's other ideas too, because really I feel like this hasn't broken open yet in the DIY community. What you did with the XT synth, where you have sliding at a very high resolution, I think it would be really cool if you implemented that somehow on a controller, but then the controller was able to light up in such a way that you could see the layout of whatever equal temperament you wanted. I think that would be cool.
But we can talk later. Yeah, we can
Yeah.
definitely do that.
We could
I'm
talk
really-
later and
Yeah.
could hybridize it
excited about
into an episode.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
I think we can just like figure this out later. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, let me know.
Okay, cool. I gotta get off to work, so I'll see you later.
Okay, man. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thanks for listening, everyone. That was the first half of my conversation with Gustavo Silveira, the Músico nerd himself. Check out his amazing YouTube channel and his controller tutorials. They are well worth it. Our second half of the episode is a Patreon exclusive, and in that half we talk about how to create a microtonal controller that is completely unique according to what microtonal controllers have already been created and things like that. There's a lot of things that microtonal controllers can accomplish. So go ahead and check out that second half of the episode on Patreon if you'd like to hear the rest of the conversation. Big thanks to our Zen Harmonic patrons, as well as our Zen Harmonic gods, Adam Fries, Matthew Sheeran, Vito Sicarella, Kit Duguay, Hector McGuffin, Christopher Bailey, Leland O. Weigel, Amy Coleman, Joe Weigel, Tina Harmon Carteau, and the Brass Whisperer. Thanks all.